Okay, I made a video on some unhealthy breakfast, which is very common with our seniors. And the white pap is also high in glycemic index. Then you add milk, which is also high in glycemic index. As long as. Now, if you are wondering or you're asking that question, I have an answer for you. Now, you do not have to imagine that your health status or the health status of most of us today is the same with those of our grandparents and the seniors of many years ago. Why? The environment we live in is far more toxic, unlike theirs. The food we are eating are far more different in terms of inflammation causing toxins and other pesticides and challenges. So we do not face the same health challenge. And besides that, most of them, by the time they are 60 or 80, they are still quite strong. I mean, their organs are still intact. They haven't taken much drugs. They have been feeding mostly on natural foods. There have not been too many chemicals for the liver and the kidney to battle with. So by the time they are around 70, 80, some of them were still then taking some of these foods. And as a matter of fact, there's nothing wrong with the pap. The pap is a fermented food, especially if it's the brown or the sorghum bicolor or whichever, but all the fermented foods are good. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is usually, as I said, with the frying of the bean cake. It's the frying that creates the problem, because the frying creates trans fats and makes it easy for those fried oils to clog on the liver and then making it even more difficult to digest. And I said it is the reason why a lot of people complain of clogged arteries. And you have not even considered that even the type of oils we use today is far different from the oils they were using then. Most of these oils are, as a matter of fact, adulterated. Most of these things they were using were quite organic. And so you shouldn't try to wonder or compare, because some of us, before we got to 35, 40, our bodies were already acidic. Yes, even the little children, the kids. But then, those things were very far apart from them, because they were eating mostly natural food. The air they breathed, the very air they breathed in, were far more pure than what we have today. The very fish, even the freshwater fish they consumed, were far more pure than what we have today, what we have in our ocean today. So do not try to reason together that, why is their own like this, or why is our own like that. You can understand through this video why ours is like that. If you are consuming milk and of course we know that beans is a protein legume, but the frying is a problem. And then when you add milk, it's a no longer news. It's not as if milk is altogether bad, but when you add it to foods like pap and the rest of it, it tastes great, it tastes nice, so sweet, and the older adults, they love it a lot. But the truth remains that this combination of bean ball akara with milk and either is pap or white pap will encourage more clogging of arteries. And then also you need to reason that most of these older adults in the past, as we know, they know how to manage themselves. They chew a lot of spices. I remember then, a lot of them, you see them after eating, they are chewing one thing. Either if they are not chewing bitter kola, they are chewing one of those alligator peppers. Some of those things are inflammation fighting spices. Now I know. Some they are chewing raw peppers. We'll be wondering, why are they chewing peppers as kids then? But now we know. They were chewing those things to reverse inflammations. But a lot of you are not aware of this. But I am here to educate you that these foods can cause clogged arteries if you do nothing after eating them, as I believe I guess they normally do. They know the feeling they normally get, and that's why they normally try to take something. So if you are still in that habit and you're already having arthritis and other health challenges like high blood pressure, you need to choose healthier breakfast, especially those with fiber, and stay away from frying those bean cake or bean balls. You can as well bake them. You can as well make things like moi moi or another form of bean preparation that you can make without having to fry anything. There are various other recipes you can make with your beans or your black-eyed cowpea after removing the peels, the chaff, without having to fry anything. The problem always is with the frying. The problem also is not with the pap, but with the addition of milk. And if you are also taking things like custard, which I have seen also a lot of older people taking those things, I tell you, it's because of ignorance. Don't live in it, because if you didn't know before, now that you know, you can give them healthier breakfasts that have life in them, foods that are rich in fiber, food that will unclog clogged arteries, and combine it combining it with some other raw foods that are easily digestible, that won't clog the arteries. That's the point. Remember, food is our medicine, moderation is our rule. Kindly share this message in case you are one of those people reasoning that, after all, there's nothing wrong taking your milk and pap with akara or bean balls. Then, if you're still doing it, you don't be worried about cholesterol, because that is exactly part of the reason why the cholesterol keeps building up. If you're also experiencing clogged arteries or high blood pressure, you should also check it. It may be part of the reason. That is exactly the point. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you love messages such as this. Thank you for watching.